Hey guys, what's going on? It's your host, your boy George Mackay, the one and only George Mackay here on the MLW Rewind. And as we mentioned numerous times, we're also now officially on SNME. That's right, Sunday night's main event, where you can catch everything MLW Rewind related on there, as well as the Straight Talk YouTube page, and so forth and so on. And I never do this alone, so please help me welcome the one, the only, April Spritz himself, Uncle Bobby V.
Aperol spritzes I'm wearing this shirt color in honor of the Aperol Spritz. Okay. Magnificent beverage. But yeah, what's up? I'm the real Uncle Bobby B.
Yeah. As
There's
opposed
a
to
lot of
all
fake
those
ones
fake
out
ones
there.
out there.
There's some fake ones, dude.
Oh, big one. Big time. There's huge fake ones. Well,
Well,
speaking of fake, not really fake, but we had quite the MLW Underground today. It was fantastic. It was entertaining. Some storylines kind of got wrapped or moved forward a bit. We've already set up for the next couple of storylines. Big news, though. Big news. That's right. March 21st, Jacob Fatu, Hammer Part 2. It's set in stone. It's happening on the Underground. Very excited for that. What about you, Rob? Are you excited for that?
I'm stoked. We got tons of big news in MLW. We've got that match that's coming up. We've got a couple new signings. Akira, which we already kind of knew, but the press release came out. Ricky Shane Page announced that he signed. I was chatting with him on his. I mentioned on one of the episodes, chatting with him on Twitch, and I said like, "Hey man, you gonna do some more MLW spots?" And he just the way he answered, he was like, yeah, I'm actually flying out to do one today. And I don't know if he had any inkling that he was going to get signed at that point, but just the way he went, yeah, it kind of, yeah. So congrats to him. He's been doing this a long time. It's his first contract. I know he's very proud and excited, and big level up for MLW. Like we're seeing people leave, but they're bringing in fresh faces, and yeah, it's been big week for MLW with all these signings and a couple debuts, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm very happy about the way things are going. We also had some debuts tonight. We'll get into that a little bit later. But first things first, we kicked off this week's today's episode with Sam Adonis, the recap of Sam Adonis and how he was kind of flapping his gums. Davey Richards called out Davey Richards. He came out. We had a debut of Johnny Fusion with a chair. We thought he was going to save Davey. No, he aligned with Azteca Underground. That's right. He joined his wife, Taya Valkyrie, CD, and Sam Adonis. And I got to tell you, as far as factions go, whatever CD's got cooking, Azteca Underground right now, next to Boomaye, could be the top two most feared factions in all of MLW. Also, you got to throw the Samoan SWAT team in there. But they're more baby faces these days. But as far as heel factions go, you really have Boomaye and Azteca Underground.
Yeah, and just to circle back, we got Lance Anoa'i taking on Alexander Hammerstone for the world title next week.
That's right.
So,
I was actually going to save that as we got deeper in the episode. But
oh well, since we were talking about the small SWAT
that.
team,
Yeah, we should
I thought,
that. Let me just go ahead and bring that over. There it is. There it is. Right fucking there.
oh okay,
There's
look at you,
Lance and Hammer. That's why I was gonna do a bit, but you fucked it all up. Thanks for fucking it all up.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, fucking asshole. All right. So, anyways, Uncle Bobby B screwed that all up. But yes, next week we got
Story of my life.
Money taking on Hammer.
He's taking off Hammer.
Taking off Hammer. That's right. At least I didn't say something else. Could have been a lot worse. He's taking on Alex Hammerstone for the MLW Heavyweight Championship, which is awesome. And so as we got past that, we get right off the bat, boom, the show starts. We get a Boomaye Fight Club promo. That's right. Alex Kane is pretty much saying how the Bulldogs and their family legacy will be burned to the ground. He'll burn it and he'll put it in the Opera Cup. And obviously that didn't sit well with the Dogs. Their music hit. They came out with DBS, Davey Boy Smith. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you right now, we talk about Mance Warner knocking out Real One with one shot. But how about DBS hitting Alex Kane square in the head with that forearm? And he knocked Kane back so hard that his eyes rolled in the back of his head. And Myron Reed's reaction was absolutely amazing.
I'm glad you said it. Because
So
I was in tears. Like it was a comical oversell, and that made it even funnier. The eyes rolling back in the head, like it was so like just to contrast. At a pay-per-view a couple weeks ago for another promotion, somebody may have got concussed and injured in the match. And we were watching that together, and I was like, "Oh, that's a real concussion. He's got the dead eyes. Like that's a real." And it turns out it was not. Totally different type of sell. Like One was a very serious I'm concussed sell, and this one was like I just got knocked the F out with my eyes rolling back in my head. It was hilarious. Alex is such a showman. And then, like you said, Myron's reaction had me in tears. I actually rewound it and watched it a couple times because I was laughing so hard.
I was going to screenshot it, but then I'm like, I don't want to get busted for copyright on YouTube, so I'm not going to screenshot that. But I got to say, the sell, and I love this Bulldogs at Boom Fight Club storyline that they're building to. We get more on that later on the episode. And then we also got a recap of the manslaughter. That's right. That's what they're calling it, manslaughter. And here is Mance Warner's prison photo, if you will.
He's channeling one of the Briscoes with that face, man.
It's absolutely amazing. He definitely was, for sure. But this lineup photo is it's absolutely amazing. I absolutely adore this. I think this is great. And I believe that Mance Warner, that mugshot is just glorious. And also the fact that people are calling it manslaughter, and there actually was a movement on socials this past week. That's right. It was the Free Mance movement. People wanted to see Mance Warner freed. They don't think that it was manslaughter. They think it was self-Mance defense, as I read it on Twitter. Mance defense, self-Mance defense. I can't remember exactly how they worded it, but it was pretty fucking funny. And that was that. And I absolutely adore this photo. I think this is great. I think this might be my permanent background as we move forward. But we also know that, like I said, Fatu versus Hammer is set for March 21st. It's going to happen on the Underground completely for free, if obviously you have reels. So it's not for free, but I mean, the fact that they're putting it on just regular cable, as opposed to they could easily do something pay-per-view wise with this, they're not. And that's the greatness of MLW. Now, people might be saying, well, maybe they don't have enough of a draw for pay-per-view. I assure you that if they were to, go on independent wrestling TV, or even sell this on Fight TV for like $13.99, like Impact does with their in-between before their big pay-per-views, they would get hits. They would get people that would buy this. They would actually make quite more than what most people might think if this was a pay-per-view big fight field. That's what this has. But the fact that MLW is doing that, again, maybe they're not ready for pay-per-views. I'm not sure, but I do know this. If this was on a pay-per-view for $13.99 on Fight TV, I'd snap this up in a second. Not because I'm a fan, but because I know this would be one I'd want to see. 150%.
I know Mr. Saint Laurent was I don't know if it was a podcast or an interview he did recently, but he's saying right now they're just focused on what they're doing, but pay-per-view is a possibility in the future. He did discuss MLW a little bit and what their plans are. So shout out to Mr. Saint Laurent. Clearly he's involved in what's going on there. So
of course
we like what's been happening. So keep doing what you guys are doing and stay the course, because it's coming out good. What's happening is very good. We like the status quo right now. So don't bite off more than you can chew.
Absolutely. And shout out to Mr. Saint Laurent. He actually hit us up on Twitter saying that he was looking forward to the recap. And I believe he watched last week. So I believe he'll continue to watch last week. So shout out to
well, then I'm glad I just put him over then. Did you happen to catch who was with Manser, or am I skipping ahead?
You're skipping ahead again. Would you just stop?
Fuck. Okay, relax.
There is a flow. There is an Evan flow. No, forget it. We've already skipped ahead. Go ahead.
Go, Mr. Flow.
Who bailed Mance out? Mance was
no. You tell me who bailed him out then.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't want to say it anymore. My feelings are hurt. Go ahead, say it. Who bailed him out? That's fine.
Shout out to Matt Justice, who was one of the individuals there. If you don't know Matt Justice, he is one of the craziest dudes in pro wrestling in terms of the stuff he will do. Matt's insane. So is that foreshadowing that we might see some Matt Justice in MLW? I freaking hope so.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And the other gentleman, I'm sorry, your name totally escapes me right now, dude. I've seen you before, but I can't recall.
I actually believe he was at Demand Lucha, and I believe I did have his name, but now I look at my notes and I do not have his name. So I'm just going to quickly scroll through here and see exactly what I was talking about. Right here we go. And his name is one called Manders.
Oh, Manders. Thank you. Fuck, man. There's Manders.
So Manders, Matt Justice. I actually did. Sorry. Now that I see it in my notes, I did have it here. So I did know who it was, but my feelings were hurt and we've skipped ahead again. So they bailed. Now I can scratch that part off of the recap because they've been, yes, they did bail out Mance Warner. And yes, that is foreshadowing. We're definitely going to see those two in MLW, which is great because I've seen Manders in action, and that guy is really, really good. The match that he had at Demand Lucha wasn't probably his best work, and I think it might have been just a juxtaposition or a probably communication forte between him and Aerostar Boy. But the fact is, it was still a good match. I've seen Manders better matches than that, but he's a really nice guy, absolutely fantastic guy.
And I've seen Matt Justice in a hardcore match in Toronto with no ropes on the ring, and the opponent set up a bunch of chairs on the outside, just set them up, normal chairs, and proceeded to put proceeded to put Matt in a fireman's carry and jump and flip forward and land with Matt directly on those chairs. And it was one of the craziest spots I've ever witnessed live. Matt's, like I said, insane. If he's coming in, we're going to see some wild shit with Matt, Ricky Shane Page. It'll be amazing.
Absolutely. They're definitely beefing it up for good talent. And if they're bringing those two guys in, even if it's for a one-off or a two-off, the fact is that's, again, another great addition to an already fantastic revamped MLW roster from what we saw just a year ago. And now we get our first match tonight. That's right. We get Delirious and Mini Abismo Negro. And they are coming out and they are facing Mr. Saint Laurent. No, he came out to introduce Microman and Lince Dorado. They are facing them in great tag team action. This was a good match. My favorite spots were Microman biting Delirious's toe because he was not wearing boots. I thought that was great. And the small package stacked him up for the 1-2-3 off the interference on Mini Abismo Negro was great. It was a great match. But then we had something weird happen. We had AO come out. The three men in the gas mask came out, and they targeted Microman. They attacked Microman. Lince Dorado tried to do everything he could to save Microman, but it was to no avail. And MSL was in the ring, and he got some, I guess, aftershock, if you will. He got attacked as well. All three of them were laying on their backs by the end of it. And AO still not any further as to who the hell AO is or are. There seems to be multiple people now. Now we've seen three people in gas masks. They attacked all three men in the ring, celebrating the win over Delirious and Mini Abismo. So I still don't know. I still don't really have an inkling, but now they're starting to build up a little bit more into this AO storyline. We're not just seeing the backstage attacks. Now we're starting to see something physical, a presence in the ring, which is cool. Before we get into Hammer's promo and who he thinks AO is, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. This is by far one of Hammer's funniest promos. Just the way he pieced it all together. It was oddly, it made sense in a weird way. But Rob, your thoughts on AO and who these three gentlemen might be, or gentlemen and ladies, who these individuals may be?
Man, I do not know. Like, I genuinely haven't the slightest freaking inkling, and it's driving me crazy because I'm like, I consider myself relatively in the know for pro wrestling, and I'm just trying to think of who this could possibly be because I feel like it's not somebody already on the roster that they've formed this like secret faction that they're now doing. I feel like it's someone or more than one new person, but I've just been racking my brain and I cannot. I don't know who the hell it could be. It's driving me nuts. So MLW's done a good job with this because I cannot wait to find out who this is. That being said, it better be some big shit because you've built it up a lot. If it's like,
you said that a few times, don't let us down. The buildup has been epic.
For real, do not let us down with this. I mean,
you talked about confusion. I mean, let's talk about Hammer and how he pieced this all together. So there's a recap of the gift that Hammer got last week, and it was the dead octopus in the box. And right after that recap, we get Hammer pulling up in his convertible. He's checking at the hotel. He doesn't want to be bothered, but the MLW media is chasing this poor guy around. They want a statement. So what does Hammer give you? He gives you an epic early front runner for promo of the year. He pieced it all together. Okay, it made logical sense when Hammer said it. It did. It confused me, but it also weirdly made a lot of sense. Hammer said, you know what? This is a Samoan SWAT team. It has to be, because after I got that box, who came through the curtain? Who was it? It was Jacob Fatu. That's right. The Samoan SWAT team, you guys need to do better. You need to do better because none of this is better. Just be better. So in the words of Hammerstone, who repeated himself a few times, Samoan SWAT team, be better.
Do better.
Do better, because this is not the way things are supposed to happen. Not at all. But Hammer, again, the promo, front runner for promo of the year, in my opinion. This was the most honest and real I have seen Hammer. and I'm excited. I am ecstatic for the fact that I think Hammer, he's pulled back the curtain a little bit, and he's told us who AO is. And it is the Samoan SWAT team. That's who it is. It has to be. It just makes sense, Rob.
Did you see the guys in the ring?
Yeah, they're a lot taller than every member of the Samoan SWAT team. So yes.
And one of them was definitely not juicy. I can tell you that.
Yeah, no, one of them was definitely, they were all very yeah, they're all very
they were not of Juicy's stature.
No,
so
they were not. Yeah. Okay.
I don't buy that. I don't buy that. That it's I think I thought it was funny because it was, what made it funny was it's so clearly not, but Hammer being so dead convinced it was made it a joke that, and I chuckled.
The Hammer because it was absolutely fantastically entertaining. We get an update on the real one. He is injured and he's out. And for right now, we don't know the amount of time the injury is going to take. And the injury status is tenuous. Tenuous. That's right. It's tenuous. That's the status that they gave us.
Tenuous, I think it was.
Tenuous. Yes, thank you. Tenuous.
I was like, you had me second guessing myself. Is tenuous? Tenuous? I was like, wait, am I thinking wrong?
No,
you had me second guessing. You said that with such conviction, though.
The English language is not my strong suit. Okay.
It's a very complicated. Hey, if you're not, like, English isn't your first language, and you try to learn English, it is the most effed up thing to learn. It is. Like, nothing makes sense with it. When you try to learn other languages, you're like, oh, this makes so much sense. Why the hell do we do it like that? It's weird, but we digress. English isn't our strong suit.
That's right. It's tenuous. Okay, it's very fucking tenuous. But we already skipped this part. This part we skipped ahead. Manchester's a free man. Yada yada yada. I don't give a fuck. My feelings are hurt. All right, we get another couple of debuts today. We get featherweight action. That's right. We get Kayla Cassidy versus Billie Starkz, and I've been so amped up for this debut, wanting to see Billie Starkz in an MLW ring, and this one did not disappoint. It was very aggressive on Kayla's part, obviously for the fact that the commentary team did talk about it quite a bit. The fact that she's making her debut as well, but nobody really seemed to care about that. They were more focused on Billie's debut, and it overshadowed Kayla's debut. So she came out of the gates really aggressive. She actually had this match almost in control for the first half of it, no problem. But her aggression got the best of her. She got a little sloppy. She gave Billie a window, and that window was almost like a muscle buster, but she just dropped Kayla just out.
It was like a two-winged angel. It was almost like a one-winged angel, but she just cupped her.
Yeah, it was almost like a muscle buster and a one-winged angel that got together and had a one-night stand, and that's what came out of it. And it was devastating. Billie Starkz is not somebody that you would see aggressive. Billie Starkz is a talent and she's fantastic, but I think she had just had enough of Kayla's shit and she laid her out. She put her down. I don't even know how Kayla walked out of the ring on that one, because that one, like I said, that finisher was devastating. If you don't know what we're talking about, if you can find a clip somewhere, please do. I would show you a clip here, but again, I'm not going to get copyright.
Here, I can explain it for you right now. She puts her in an electric chair up on the shoulders, reaches up and cradles her head and just drives her straight down.
No, I don't mean to explain the move and how it was executed. I mean, just to see the devastation.
Like, they even put it over on commentary, like,
and the great part about it is that after Billie kind of rolled out from the bottom rope, she just kind of sat there on the ring apron and she was all smiles and she was doing this and she was Billie again. But 30 seconds before that, she was ready to kill someone. And I have not seen this aggressive side of Billie Starkz in person. So to see it with my own eyes, I'm impressed. Billie Starkz, like Matt Stryker said, after showing that devastation, is a dangerous fighter. But Rob, what were your thoughts on this? Now that we've gotten back in the evident flow of the episode, what was your thoughts on this match, Rob?
Well, we've been hyping Billie Stark's debut for some time. She's only 18 years old. She's a 5-year vet, as they said. I believe her uncle was a pro wrestler. So she's been around pro wrestling all her life, just came back from Japan. Long story short, Billie's a prodigious talent. She's going to do big things in this business. I think it was smart of MLW to get her in for some spots now, as she's still building her name. Clearly, we're building towards a program she's going to run with Taya. I believe Billie's actually going to be the one to dethrone Taya for that featherweight championship. I think that's going to be her first major championship that she wins, televised, the whole shebang. Because I also think MLW has a history of identifying good talent and giving them the opportunity, like they did with Alex Kane, right? Alex Kane, relatively unknown, not totally unknown,
Same thing with
relatively
MJF.
unknown in MLW when he came in.
They did that with MJF as well.
Right. Jacob Fatu, Hammers, like they've got a great eye for talent and for building them up. So I think it's going to be a big moment when Billy eventually dethrones Taya, but I don't think it's going to happen right away.
No.
And yeah, great match. I did feel a little bit for Kayla Cassidy, but you know what? She got a shot. She got to come in, work with Billy Starks, work on MLW. So I'm sure it's not going to be the last we're going to see of her. And looking forward to more featherweight action as they, you know, I kind of feel like featherweight division started with a lot of hype. We had all these people come in,
We had a lull.
Stars, Willow, and then it kind of, and now it's not as much division as it is like we have a champion and we bring in some different people to wrestle her, and we have a few matches here and there. Is not so much a division, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I think they're trying to rectify that now. So
they are. I mean, they signed Delmy XO to a permanent contract, which I think we talked about last week, along with Kira, like you said. And now they brought in Ricochet and Page. So they're kind of building all the divisions at once. They're adding a little bit more meat and potatoes to every division. And like you said, bringing Billy in. I wouldn't mind seeing Kayla back. I really enjoyed the first half of the match when Kayla had
bring her back.
But again, I think her aggressiveness got the best of her, and she gave Billy Starks that opening, and Starks hit it. Starks hit it out of the park, over the fence, around the corner, down the street, and you know, just I'm surprised Kayla didn't go right into the ICU, because that finisher was holy.
Well done, Billy. You kicked ass in your debut.
Absolutely. And speaking of which, why Rob was talking about how she's going to run a program with Taya was out there actually cutting a promo. Billy hadn't even left the ring yet. She was still celebrating her win, and Taya's out there cutting a promo, basically showing the lack of respect she has for any of the other women in the featherweights division. Talking about how she's so excited for Johnny Fusion. That's right. Johnny Fusion is going to make his MLW in-ring return a little bit later on in the show. She's so excited that he's here and that everyone should be so lucky to wake up to him. And at that point, Billy walks up. She's gassed, obviously. She just had a match. She's a little bit trying to catch her breath. And she said to Taya, you know what? I respect your journey. What you did from Mexico, coming over here. I can respect that. And Taya spun it. She spun it perfectly. She said, well, obviously you're a fan, but please study those tapes harder. Now shoo. Just shoos away Billy Starks. And Billy had a look of pissed offness, much like she did the first time around. So again, this program that they're building is smart, and I think you're right. I think Billy's going to take that featherweight championship off of Taya, and she's going to make her pretty much eat her words for the way she kind of disrespected Billy Starks, for sure. And you know, before we get the main event, we get another Alex Kane promo, and he's saying that, you know what, DBS, you want a prize fight? I fight for prize. I fight for money. I don't just fight for the hell of fighting. I fight for money. So stipulation: if your boys, the Billington Bulldogs, can beat Mr. Thomas, Jesus, I'm having a rough go today. You beat Mr. Thomas and Myron Reed, then you get a shot at me. That's right. So if the Billington Bulldogs beat the Bumaye Fight Club in tag team action next week, then we will eventually see DBS versus Alex Kane for the Opera Cup, because that's what this whole beef is about. DBS wants the Opera Cup back, and Alex Kane is disrespecting the Opera Cup and disrespecting the Billington Bulldogs and the history of the Opera Cup along with it. Alex Kane is a gem. And you know what Alex Kane reminded us all? That DBS will submit and bend to his will. And above all else, Rob, go with me on this one. Bumaye is?
Well, I believe he said Bumaye for the kids.
I thought he said Bumaye is for the kids. Again, you always have to correct me. Eh? You always got to.
Well, no, because the reason I'm so specific with
I was trying to build to that, and you fucked up the flow again. What is happening?
Well, the reason I'm so specific is because Bumaye means kill him. So he's saying Bumaye for the children. So kill him for the children, as opposed to kill him is for the children.
Right, I know that, but that's what makes it funny. So again, Bumaye
for the kids. It's like Wu-Tang is for the children.
Yes, kill him for the children, kill him for the kids.
Kill him for the children.
This whole match is fucking god. This whole episode is just ruined. I just want to get through it as quick as possible. I'm just annoyed. All right, EJ looking for Jacob Fatu, and he's met by Juicy Fanu instead. This was kind of came out of left field, this segment here. I really didn't understand the actual flow in the episode. I understand why they had to show it, but I didn't understand the flow. This is obviously building to the tag team fight with Hustle and Power. So EJ, again, I guess was looking to take out another member of the Samoan SWAT team, but Juicy met him. Juicy handled him, obviously, to get some revenge for what he did to Lance Wani last week when he hit Lance with the cinder block. So EJ is unhinged, and this is the last couple tapings. We're obviously going to see him and Myron. I believe next week is Myron's last official in-ring match, whereas EJ, next couple of weeks, we'll see him wrap up his MLW in-ring action when he puts his tag titles on the line with Calvin Tankman. And now it's main event time, but again, we're going to talk about some of the matches real quick. So next week, we got the Billington Bulldogs versus the Boom Fight Club. And then we've got Hammer versus Lance Wani next week, which is big. Rob already fucked up the flow of that earlier, so we announced that. And then also next week, Rob didn't fuck this one up. We have Jacob Fatu taking on the bad child, Leo Rush. Leo Rush, a couple weeks ago, put the whole MLW roster on notice for his 25th thousandth return that no one is safe in the roster. No one is safe. And the bad child, the man of the hour, whatever fucking nickname he wants to come up with this week, he's decided to go right after one of the big dogs in the hour, which is Jacob Fatu. I see your snarky face. I see it, okay? And I don't care.
I hear your snarky comments.
You fucked up the whole flow of this episode. It's ruined.
I'm going to fuck it up even more now.
My life is ruined. My life is ruined. Everything's ruined. Everything's ruined. All right, anyways, I'm going to leave this up because this makes me smile, okay? This makes me smile. Mance Warner's mugshot. It's main event time. And we have Davey Richards, American Wolf, going one-on-one with Johnny Fusion for the Openweight Championship. Now, Johnny Fusion obviously not alone. He's with CD, Cesar Durant, and Ty Valkyrie. This is a great match.
To his Johnny Caballero music, though. Did you notice that?
He did, yeah, he did.
They even mentioned it on commentary because I clocked it right away. I was like, that's Johnny Caballero.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that's the only actual music that he has the rights to. I believe every other piece of music he has, he doesn't have the right. He definitely doesn't have the right to the Johnny Nitro theme in WWE. He definitely does not have the rights for the other theme music, I believe, that Impact did for him. So I believe this is the only music that he actually has the rights to. So that may be a little interesting factoid.
Interesting.
And now we're flowing, which is nice. So please, we're almost at the light at the end of the tunnel. Don't fuck it up. Don't.
So, anyways, the finish of this match.
Son of a bitch. Oh my god. All right. So this was a great match. It was very technical. Davey did keep Johnny grounded for the most part. And as we all know, Johnny Mundo, Johnny Fusion, Johnny Impact, Johnny AEW, Johnny, WWE, John, whatever Johnny wants to call himself with whatever company he's working for. He loves to fly. He absolutely does. But for the most part, this was good. And I love the final sequence, which Davey, he hit a big move. I can't remember what the move was, but he goes for the pin. It's a 2 count. And instead of being frustrated with the ref, like most wrestlers do, it was a 2 count, a fight argument. He went right into the next move, right into the ankle lock, which was picture perfect. And then Johnny kicked out of that, though. He fought out of it, and then he went perfectly. Shout out to Davey Richards because of how technically smooth this guy is. Turned it around right into a Texas cloverleaf, and he had Johnny dead to right, center of the ring. But then, of course, CD gets up on the apron. He's distracting the ref, and Ty slinks in from under the bottom rope, hits Davey over the back with the featherweight championship, and ref turns around, and Johnny and Azteca Underground, they screwed Davey Richards. 1, 2, 3. Johnny Fusion is your new openweight champion, and as the commentator said it, we have a new power couple. That's right, Ty Valkyrie and Johnny Fusion. They're both rocking singles gold right now. So Azteca Underground right now is the
power faction.
Is the power faction because there's 2 belts in that faction right now. And I would not be surprised if Sam Adonis doesn't somehow get his hands on that middleweight championship before, springtime hits. And all of a sudden, Azteca Underground has all the singles gold, except for the world title and the tag titles. So dangerous things are brewing with Azteca Underground having all this gold. But Rob, we've reached the end of the tunnel. Thank God. You can't fuck up any more of this flow of the episode. What did you think of this match?
Good match. They beat the shit out of each other. I enjoyed it. They both worked their own style. There was some psychology there, like Davey going after the legs because he knows Johnny likes to kick and likes to jump and all that stuff. So they both worked their style. I thought it was a fun match. Hopefully we see more of Johnny because Johnny's a great wrestler. Lots of star power. Hopefully keeps more eyes on the product, and I'm enjoying what's going on. Like since the debut on Reels, things have been fire. And I know MLW got a TV deal for Europe with Ayazat TV, which is pretty big. So there's some more money, I think, coming in now, and now we can afford to have some more talent on the roster and some bigger talent, pay those booking fees. And hell yeah, this was a fun match. Great episode. Set up a lot of stuff, got us intrigued, got us stoked for the upcoming events. I mean, MLW's kind of firing on all cylinders after this episode, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And just to run us through the list of already fucked up fuckery, we have Fatu and Hammerstone set for March 21st. It is happening. Finally, Fatu versus Hammer round 2. This is going down, and we're very excited for this match. And then next week, we've got the Billington Bulldogs versus the Boomaye Fight Club. Winner gets, if the Billington Bulldogs get the win, then DSB gets his shot at Alex Kane in a prize fight for the Opera Cup. And then we also have Hammer putting his title on the line against Lance Olani. Big opportunity for Lance here to show what he can do singles-wise. And the future of the Samoan SWAT team looking pretty bright right now. And I'm assuming that Jacob's going to be watching this match very closely. I wouldn't be surprised if, cousin versus cousin maybe in the future. I mean, I know Lance is not going to take the title away from Hammer, but, I mean, we can dream. It would be pretty damn cool for sure. And then, of course, we have Leo Rush versus Jacob Fatu. That's right, the bad child, bad seed, man of the hour, all these things.
Man,
he's going to Jacob Fatu, and this is going to be a barn burner. I may not like, Leo Rush personally, but in the ring, I can't deny his ability. The man is top notch, and MLW does keep bringing him back every time he comes out of retirement, and I do enjoy watching him work. He's put on some bangers with Myron Reed. We've been blessed to see those, and I mean, him versus Jacob Fatu for the first time. Yeah, sign me up for that. Take my money. I am hyped for the match. I just like busting Rob's chops because he fucked up the whole flow of this episode. So to insult Leo Rush is the only thing that gets under his skin. That's fine. You can give me the middle finger. That's fine.
Fine. Good. I will.
Boomaye.
For the kids.
For the kids. Kill him for the kids.
So kill him for the children.
Anything else you want to say before we wrap this one up?
No, I think we hit pretty much everything. Like I said, MLW, this I feel like this TV deal. I've been hearing a lot of complaints from people who live in Canada. I've seen some comments in the forums, the Facebook pages, all that stuff. Like, I'd love to watch MLW, but I can't now, and go back to YouTube. And I'm sure that like they're working on it, Canadian distribution, and they're not oblivious to the fact they got viewers in Canada and all over the world. So hopefully there'll be some solution to that soon, and we're able to get Canadian distribution. But like I said, it's bringing in more money, it's upping the quality. They're firing on all cylinders right now, and I can't wait for the rest of the upcoming year with MLW. I think we're going to make it out to a show this year.
Well, I'm ready to go anytime because I have my passport.
Yeah, I got to do that.
Yeah, so before we can dream about going to a show, you need to get off your ass and get your passport. Maybe stop fucking with the flow of the episode and work on filling out those papers. Maybe you could do that.
Okay, why don't you work on filling this out?
All right, guys, that's it for this one. As Uncle Bobby B waves to all the viewers and anyone listening.
You're number one, George.
Yeah, number one. I know I'm number one. You know what? I got change for you. There you go. All right.
Read between the lines.
All right. Oh, you want to go old school with it? Can you hear this? You want me to turn it up? I mean, how old can we go? Look, Jim Carrey. I'm gonna hold this note all day. Are you sniffing your middle finger? Butterscotch.
No.
Butterscotch.
I'm just sitting here with my hand under my face like this fucking guy.
Oh, what? I can't get the bust chops once in a while. You bust chops all the time.
Good. That's my job.
I feel that Robin, I'll need to take some time apart. There may not be a rewind next week. All right, guys. Peace, love, and wrestling. You know the socials. He is the real Uncle Bobby B on Instagram. He doesn't use any other social. And Straight Talk Wrestling everywhere except for Twitter, which is @_Straight Talk. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're at 681. Now, the original goal was 750, and Rob would get 5150. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. So,
well, they're not there.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe Rob can get someone else.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see who's available.
Yeah, Hammer. You too.
Yeah, we'll try.
Leo Rush.
A little expensive.
Very expensive. All right, guys. Peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see you guys next week.
Adios.